swimming the forbidden zone. They were captured by the shrewdness of apes. But what the hell is the shrewdness of apes? And why is Taylor wearing a man frock and saying city looks like Fraggle Rock? Did the Chambers, did the Insulin, Mr. Spot? This is just the fact we try not to mock on. The minute of the apes. 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 Yeah!
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the podcast where we break down every damn dirty minute of the Planet of the Apes movie, 1 minute at a time. This is the last one we're going to be doing for 2017, guys.
Oh, wow.
I'm your host, Sean, and joining me as always are my co-hosts, Richard and Todd. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hi.
I know, we got that one we barely made it through.
I'm a little teary-eyed because it's the last one of the year.
Well, wait. Are we doing one on Monday?
That's the first, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. New Year's Eve falls on Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you not looking at your calendar for the next couple of days to see that New Year's Eve is on
All
Sunday?
I know is that you and I are going to be hungover on Monday the 1st.
That's true. Oh, man. All right. I'm glad
I assume we're doing something on New Year's Eve.
Well, we will have to check with our social planners.
Okay, exactly. Yeah.
All right. We're going to start minute 60 with Taylor running away from an angry shrewdness of apes, and it ends up with the security police saying he's now in the custody of the Ministry of Science. And as of now, we officially have 2 living humans. We do have 2 confirmed dead. We'll miss you, Dodge. Stuart, we never really got to know you at all.
Bye, Dodge.
Stuart, you just kind of laid there and died. Sorry.
Do you think they'll go exhume her from the spaceship and put her in the human museum?
I don't know, because that'd be a waterlogged corpse by now. Who knows?
Well, they like putting bad makeup on Dodge. Why wouldn't they want pickle skin, whatever you call it?
We cannot talk about the next minute, but I want to so bad, but we can't.
All right, we got a shrewdness of apes and a gaggle of humanoids. All right, so again, it's not that humans are more timid, but the instant Taylor shows up around more gorillas and chimps and everything, they all just turn en masse and start chucking shit at him.
Well, it's also that he's hit an ape, and it's almost like the moment that you hit an ape,
that's it.
They lose their shit and start flinging crap right at you.
That's the point where they should have all just been hands to the butt and starting to. I mean, why are they in the farmers market part of the Albuquerque and everything that I bought? Now I decide just to toss at the person that's shown up.
Well,
there is a little something about the fact that they're using fruit as stones, but I mean,
and we do see tomatoes in there. By the way, there were some red things flying by. So
like
tomatoes are like cockroaches. They survived the atomic apocalypse.
There were some unique shapes. I'm sure they were all from medical axe.
I think I saw some onions and turnips and
but it was just really fascinating. He runs through and he's suddenly getting attacked by the mobs. The apes that are in the city have like turned on him. Not that they were against him, but they were just. It was crowds and crowds and crowds and crowds of people as he runs through. And I'm sure they staged it so that it was the same 20 actors.
Right.
But it was just kind of...
Well, you're definitely seeing the same actors because there's one chimp that has this cockeyed kind of smirky look to him that shows up one time when he looks to the right, one time when he looks to the left. It's the same actors in there. So... But, again, that goes back to your thought of that they don't have the ability to pause it, to look at it. You're not going to notice that if you're not doing what we're doing.
2-second shot or whatever. Right. I mean, how many people do you think the actual extras were enjoying just lobbing Heston as hard as they could?
Well, is he as big of a in person as he is as a character?
I don't know.
Because they probably were. But what I kept thinking was he will fight against nooses. He will fight against nets, but God forbid you throw a vegetable at his ass. He is, my God, no. He cowers.
Well, I think there was this sense of kind of overwhelming masses coming towards him more than anything else.
Maybe so.
This stretch, when you think about the minutes that we've just done, this is a very long stretch of Taylor not saying a thing.
True.
Yeah. Like Charlton Heston didn't have to have any dialogue to memorize.
He's just reacting.
Yeah, exactly. So he gets kind of pushed around by this mob. They're throwing food at him. We actually get to see him run along the river, letting us know that the city is next to some type of waterway.
And there is also over that waterway. There's you did see that coming in.
The first establishing shot from when they came from the hunt and they were bringing everybody in. We did see that there was a river there.
And there is this idea that you look at that and again, doing what we're doing, you can see that there's even a chance when it goes by that riverway that riverwalk, whatever it would be, he could get away. There's a passage. There is, if he turned his left,
to the left,
he'd have a better chance than running back in the city, but he runs to it. And
So,
I'm sorry.
go ahead. I actually want to look this up because we have the set of the city, and then we have him running by a waterway. And I've read about the city already that it was actually constructed. So I'm curious if they built that river, or if the river was a different location.
I'm pretty sure
I would think that would be natural just because of the amount of
and
water.
I'm pretty sure that in one of the things we said before, they constructed the city on the site of a water feature for that reason. I don't think the water was constructed.
I think that's natural.
I'll look that up hopefully by the next one. I'd seen that before.
I mean, I had read that the set survived and was reused in other movies and things like that.
I wouldn't doubt that.
The actually city set. So I assumed it was on location in Burbank or wherever.
You know, half the time when you see those things, it's built on their back lots of sorts. And when you watch, and I'm sorry, Sean, to leap ahead in the next movies, you'll see some of the same.
Wait, there are other movies?
Okay, you at least know that. There are the same locations you'll see. So I'm curious if they kept, and well, they didn't keep.
Would they have kept it knowing that they were making other movies?
No, because sequels were not
the
norm at that time.
Back then,
and they also thought this was going to be a flop. They were.
I'm reading a little bit about the set. I mean, they talked about the fact that they had to reconstruct parts of these things, and it was left outside for many years. And thankfully, the integrity of the set, most of it remained, but some of it was scrapped and so on. So I was just curious with this waterway that we suddenly see, if it was a part of where they built the set or whether they actually did a different location for that.
I can look it up while we're talking, but I know that Sean and I in the early minutes before you joined us talked about that it was constructed on something they had available to them. So I'll try and find that while we talk.
So he runs by this river. He gets back into another crowd of people.
They throw more stuff at him.
They throw a lot of stuff at him.
The pelting area, the strip
police surround him with whips. He's now surrounded on all sides by a crowd throwing fruit and police with whips. They're whipping at him kind of
above him,
getting him into kind of almost like a containment area.
To which we have now found out how net technology is actually supposed to work correctly. What you do is you have to have a 4-to-1 outnumbering of your opponent. You make sure you get 30 feet above them.
Correct.
Have him strategically backed in by an unruly mob. Drop the net, have him tangle himself up in it, and then do your 4-man descent.
Exactly.
That easy. No problems. You got your prey taken care of.
That was actually kind of cool to see. The actual proper
actually
execution of the net. Yeah. 4 apes throw the net. He gets entangled in it. They then grab the drawstrings of the nets and fall off the other side because they're on one of those overhead walkways between the cities.
Just waiting for him to fall under.
And it hoists him up overhead while they successfully use his weight to drop to the ground.
Yes.
So, real quickly, the ape set was built on the Fox Studio Ranch near Malibu, California. There were water features already there. They built around that. They used a lot of forced perspective, smaller structures in the front, meant to give depth and weight to the things in the background, much like they did in The Hobbit. So you're at least looking at the area and the surrounding hills were there, and it was chosen for that reason.
Very cool.
Well, I have to say, Zira made it to Taylor being wrapped up in the rope net just as fast as he got there, pretty much. So that means she was either tracking him the entire time, keeping up with him while he's going everywhere, because literally he gets caught in a net and she pushes through the crowd. So that means she has to be as fast as him, on track with him, or just randomly or coincidentally shows up at the same place where he gets captured.
But to what Richard and I were saying before, he has this struggle that takes him inside the museum. While he's in the museum, a crowd has gathered. So maybe she's gotten word and she's come to
where the crowd is.
What hits me too is when she runs up and says, "Why did you?" and she grabs his hair, and it's almost an abusive pet owner.
But
she's like treating like a dog that got away. And
your question there, Taylor, why'd you run away?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know that he was about to get all gelded.
That's true.
We assume that.
We assume she doesn't know.
Maybe she knew, and that wasn't a big deal.
Maybe she found out at last minute, but
well, not that she doesn't know. She doesn't know that he knows.
Well, true. There's that. Yeah, she doesn't.
Well, she might know. So the two guards show up originally. They tell Julius he's about to be gelded based upon Dr. Zaius' orders.
Right.
and Taylor escapes.
Do a series of form smashes.
And then we get this entire thing, and then Zira shows up and says, Taylor, why'd you run away? Mm-hmm. So she did not know that Zaius had said he was going to be gelded and taken care of at first, because that's why the police officers were coming there, or guards were coming to take him away and saying Julius was going to be upset. That doesn't mean that she didn't know at some point after that moment,
right.
But the why'd you run away, to me, implies that she doesn't know why he got out of his cell and beat Julius. That she does not know that Zaius had other plans for him. That's what that implies to me.
Or she knew that, and gelding isn't a big deal to her, so she doesn't understand. Because none of the other humanoids that they've gelded before have run away before this happened, so why is he running away?
She knows that he can understand, though.
She doesn't understand why Heston wants to keep his jewels. Right?
I still say that she doesn't understand.
Either she doesn't know what's going to happen, or it's not a big deal to her.
My vote is she doesn't know. That's my vote.
Because we do know that she wanted him to mate with unnamed savage woman, Space Uchi.
Space blood donor.
Right, so she just thought that he got out of the cell. That
got into a fight for some reason, escaped, freaked out.
Exactly.
Because as last she saw, they were trying to make sense of his drawings and his paper airplanes and whatnot.
But again, that must have been weeks ago, because...
No, that's the very same... Well...
No, because then he's taken to his cell, and then it's later, and he's almost healed. So it's some point of distance of time between, look at the map, here's a paper airplane, and now I'm almost healed and escaping the cell.
God, I just feel like this whole almost healed crap is interjecting time that isn't there. Because nothing in the film says there's a huge passage of time between the moment when he's taken from Cornelius's den, his map den, to his cage. There's nothing that says there's a massive passage.
Except for the fact they said, well, he's almost healed now. So at least are you going from, I can't talk, to I'm almost healed a day later?
Okay, but we also questioned how badly was he hit?
Well, he was shot.
Well, you can be shot and it can nick the flappy part of your skin right here and cause a lot of blood.
But it's causing
that's what it looks like.
But it's causing him not to be able to speak. That's how it...
He's had multiple, nooses
around
and rips and all, specifically
around his neck.
Like his neck intentionally has been shown
targeted,
being brutalized.
There's a lot of neck trauma. That is true.
There is consistently. So you mentioned that she grabbed at his head, right? The script that I have said she paused at the net, crying impulsively. Taylor, why'd you run away? Zira moves the net from his face, panting with exhaustion. Taylor flicks a wild glance at her. He looks demented.
Well, he wasn't happy.
He looks demented, and it leads to what this minute leads to what we wished it would. We would have gotten to. There's a iconic moment coming that we don't touch on today, but it does feed into that.
We'll talk about that next year.
Next year we'll get into his fury is definitely mounting. The upside down world, all the things that
the intensity of finding dogs, the fact that he's got no escape.
It has finally hit the point where he can take no more. And Zira's not going to calm him. No one's going to calm him. Right?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe Hoochie will.
Well, I mean, the officers approach. Lieutenant says, security police. And Zira says, I'm in charge of this man.
Yes. So,
adding that line in, I would go back and say that she does not know that Zaius has other plans for him.
And I found it curious that the guard's immediate response is something akin to not anymore. He's now in the...
No longer, madam. He is now in the custody of the Ministry of Science.
So, in all of this time, which... If the chase sequence happens truly sequentially, it's been, maybe 5 minutes, maybe?
Yeah. Right.
The order has come down to get him, and it's the Ministry of Science.
So Ministry of Science being Dr. Zaius
and Maximus.
Hang on, let's step back a second real quick.
I guess.
So the gorilla identifies himself as security police. So does that mean all the gorillas are security police now? Because they all wear the exact same uniform, so are they all part of the same division? So are they saying that these aren't necessarily guards or security for Dr. Zaius? Are they actually the police force of this society?
So